Against my better judgment, I decided to check out the first episode of the new Winx Club reboot to see just how badly my childhood has been massacred. And with my better judgment, I decided to turn it into a review video. And then against my better judgment again, I thought, hey, let's make this an episode by episode thing, which means I get to make 12 more of these. Yay! There is a method to my madness, however, because I had this gut feeling that I was going to have so many thoughts on the first episode alone that I was going to need to break it up into episode by episode increments in order to be able to get all of my thoughts out, because if I reviewed the entire series as a whole, I was going to need to cut some stuff out, and I kind of don't want to cut anything out. I think all of these thoughts are very important. I'm kind of neutral about the new theme song. I appreciate that it's the same lyrics as the season 2 opening for the Rye dub, because that's the dub that I grew up with. It's the singer that I have a problem with. The woman who sings the new theme song is an Italian singer by the name of Clara Sonici, and she has a very beautiful voice. I will not deny that. It's very crisp, it's very clear, just unique all around. But something about it is just a little too sharp for Winx Club. Go listen to the new theme song, and then go listen to the Season 2 Rye theme song, and you'll get what I mean. They just invoke very different feelings. Again, this is no hate to Clara Sonici. Like I said, she has a beautiful voice. And this is no hate to the new theme song either. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It's, again, I'm very neutral about it. Having only 13 episodes to tell a story can really hurt the pacing of a story, especially when none of your writers have any idea what they're doing. And that is the feeling that I got from this first episode. Within the first 5 minutes, Bloom finds out that fairies are real, finds out what Althea College is, and is already out the door to Althea, with her narrating the whole thing to us like we are her diary. When she meets the rest of the Winx Club, she's summoned to Faragonda's office. Immediately afterwards, she gets absolutely no time to get to know any of them like she did in the original series. She meets Icy immediately after being summoned to Faragonda's office, or should I say leaving Faragonda's office. Then she meets the rest of the Tricks, and then she meets the Specialist. She just keeps on meeting people that she doesn't really get to spend much time with. She spent more time with the Specialists than she did with the rest of the Winx Club, who are, the main focus of the show. Near the climax of the episode, Sky says to Bloom, "You've been here 3 days and you're already causing trouble?" There was nothing to suggest that she had been there for 3 days. I get that it can be hard to showcase the passage of time when you aren't able to put your characters in multiple different outfits, but there had to have been something you could do. I just thought Bloom was having a really rough first day. There was nothing to suggest that she had been there 3 days. Getting into the writing and the story, there were a couple things that I appreciated. I liked that they kept the joke of Stella blowing up the potions lab the semester before. I liked how much more grateful Bloom was to get the bike compared to her reaction in the original series, because it seems that in both the original and the new series, both Bloom's parents are working and the money is tight. But in the new series, Bloom seems to understand this, and so she's incredibly grateful for whatever her parents can get for her, and I really like that they changed her reaction. I can't explain it, I just really like that they changed her reaction. So, the writing was fine. As the episode went on, there was less and less that I had a problem with. Overall, it was fine. The story is also fine. It's very similar to the beginning of the original series. Bloom finds out she's a fairy, she meets Stella, she meets Flora, she goes to Althea, she meets the Specialists and the Tricks. Very similar to the original series, but it's missing something, and I don't know what that is, that doesn't make it as appealing as the original series. And this might just be that I am blinded by nostalgia, but it feels like it's missing a certain charm. There was a charm to the original Winx Club that I really liked that this series was just sort of missing, and it might be because it's playing into nostalgia. Nostalgia is taking place of that particular charm. Overall, Story's fine. It's a little meh, but it's fine. The animation, at first glance, seems really nice. I like all the nice textures, I like all the bright colors, I really like the hair physics, but the more I watched, the more I noticed the lip flaps are slightly off. They don't move properly with what the characters are saying. The body language doesn't feel natural, the body language feels stiff and robotic. That fall was also very stiff and robotic. It feels a lot like the new Miraculous animation style if it had the old Miraculous animation movement. You know, think of the new Miraculous style, but with the old Miraculous movement. Everything felt kind of stiff, it felt a little janky. You know, my thoughts on the animation are a little complicated. There were parts of it I really like and parts of it I question, but for the most part, the animation is okay. The animation's good. Voice acting is subpar. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. None of the voices feel like they fit the characters. Bloom doesn't really have any character or personality. Stella's voice is far too infantile for what's supposed to be a confident fashionista. Flora is suddenly Hispanic, and you could argue that that's just the accent of her home planet. But if that's the case, shouldn't the other girls have something of an accent? Why is she the only one who suddenly has a Hispanic accent? The tricks all sound like me when I was 9 years old trying to be edgy. So I know firsthand, trust me, you don't sound cool, you sound weird, and you sound kind of annoying. Farragonda, I think, is the biggest offender because her voice is both too high-pitched and far too cold. Farragonda has like a lower, softer, warmer voice. She's like a doting grandmother who wants to see you become the best version of yourself. None of the voices feel like they fit the characters. I'm gonna rate the fairy designs in an episode where they all transform together, because so far Stella and Flora are the only ones who transform in the first episode, but I am gonna rate all their civilian designs in rapid fire, including both the Winx and the Tricks. Ready, go. Bloom, 6 out of 10. She gets an extra point for matching her old silhouette. Stella, 7 out of 10. It would be perfect, but I'm taking off 3 points for that hairstyle. What is that? Flora, 6 out of 10. The choker, the jacket, and the boots feel a little too edgy for Flora. They're not soft enough for a fairy of nature. Aisha, 8 out of 10. I really like the sporty vibe. Also, why is she here? She did not show up until season 2. Musa, 6 out of 10. I love that they brought back her short pigtails, but I don't really like how they tried to make her look like a DJ. She was always more of a performer type. Also, where did all her East Asian traits go? I know that she's not actually East Asian, she's from Melody, but Melody is inspired off of various East Asian cultures. Her face looks very infantile to me. Tekna, 5 out of 10. The hair is okay, but I miss her purple and green color scheme. I don't know why they're putting her in purple and blue. Icy, 10 out of 10. Absolutely perfect. I have no notes. I love it so much. Stormy, another 10 out of 10. I love the little pink accents in her hair and the dark magentas of her outfit clashing with the white lightning pattern on it. It looks so good. Darcy is a 9 out of 10. It would be perfect if she still had the little glasses that she had in her old civilian form. Those looked so good. So far, the Tricks have the best civilian forms. As for the other characters that were all in the first episode, I don't like Farragonda's new design. I'm pretty neutral about Griffin's design. The only thing I don't really like is the hair. I'm neutral about Damien's design. He's a new character. The specialists, I don't like. I think the suits are way too clunky and lean way too much into the tech appeal. I miss the blue and white color scheme of their original suits. The only specialist design that I liked was Timmy, because he was the only one that looked the most similar to his original counterpart. Also, what did they do to Brandon? What happened to his face? Oh my goodness, I hate this. Get it off my screen. Almost forgot about Mitzi. She has looked better. Finally, I want to get into the credits. The credit song was pretty subpar, nothing to write home about, but what I really want to talk about is the credits did this thing where the designs for the original Magic Winx were in the background while the new civilian designs were in the foreground. It felt like they were trying to say, The core essence of Winx Club is still there, the core essence of the girls is still there, but instead, it came across as nostalgia bait. It came across as, if you were a fan of Winx Club in the past, you should be a fan of this new Winx Club. It did not come across as a genuine message of, we made sure the core of the characters was still in there. It came across as, you should like this simply because it has the Winx Club logo on it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the first episode of the brand new Winx Club reboot. I know I said I was gonna make this an episode by episode thing, but as I was making this video, I started to wonder, do I really want to spend the time and energy necessary in order to make reviews on episodes of a show that I don't feel is worth all the time I spent on it? I don't want to take the risk of diving into hate-watching territory. You know, the thing that got Velma a second season. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. I think I'm just gonna do this one video on the Winx Club reboot, because honestly, that's about as much of this reboot as I want to see. I think I'd rather go back and watch the original. Only problem is, it's not on Netflix anymore. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they kicked out the original to make way for the new one. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Do not expect any more videos on this reboot. I'm going to go bleach my eyes. Thank you all very much for sticking around to the end of the video. I very much appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Chaos out.